Hi everybody, this is a quick run through of the EFT tapping points that is shared with anyone who books on any of the group sessions that I do, or even if you've booked a one-to-one session, you may receive a link to this video if you've not done EFT before or if you've asked for it. So there's a link on my YouTube channel to some explanations of what EFT is. So this is purely to go through the tapping points that I use most frequently in my tapping sessions. First of all, I will often have asked you for emotions that you're feeling related to the situation that we're tapping about. I will have asked you to give a number to that, where usually 10 is like the highest, the most emotion, the most pain, the most significant factor that we're tapping on, the most anxiety, the most stress, the most whatever. And one is where you feel like completely calm, quite positive, happy, relaxed, painless, all of that. So they're things that I will often have asked you for. Sometimes I'll ask you for a colour and a shape and those things as well. And then we usually go into some tapping rounds. There is no need to worry overly about what points you're tapping on. It's all about moving the energy through the energy body, through the meridians of the body, as discussed in the What is EFT video. So just taking those EFT tapping, those energy channels into account while you're tapping. It doesn't matter which side of the body you tap on. You can interchange. There are lots of people that will say you've got to tap both sides or you've got to stick to one side. Myself, I think the energy is moving when you set the intention to move the energy. I know that there's a lot of power in just tapping fingertips or just tapping the top of your head if you're really, really uptight or in a really difficult situation where you can't do a whole session of tapping. So I don't think it matters which order you do the tapping points in, and lots of people will include or exclude certain points. So these are the tapping points I use in this order. If you're tapping and you've got your eyes closed, for example, and you miss a point, don't worry. I usually, when I'm doing tapping, don't switch between, like say this is what point I'm tapping on now, like say the tapping points as I'm moving through them, because I tend to channel based on what I'm feeling coming in through the energy of the people I'm tapping with. So that as well. I always say make sure your legs, arms, everything is unfolded, uncrossed. We want to be sat straight. As she straightens herself up, we want to be sat straight. We want to make sure our legs are not crossed. If that's uncomfortable, put your feet on something maybe, or you can sit on the floor cross-legged by all means in a like lotus position. That also works because you've got your spine erect and your energy channels are flowing. And the other thing, one final thing to mention is that because we're moving energy, we can actually have results of energy shifting in ways through the body. These are all energy moving. So things like yawning, coughing, burping, other noises. I do have people who fart or who have other things, weird things that happen, like shaking, twitching. It's all part of the energy moving. Tingles, pins and needles, it's all part of the energy moving. Tears, bursting out laughing, all absolutely normal. It's emotional clearing. That's part of the process. Really quickly then, here are the tapping points. We always start with the karate chop point to just set up. We usually repeat a statement 3 times by tapping on the karate chop point. Sometimes then after I've paused to just check in, then we won't tap the karate chop point again. Sometimes we will. That just depends on how I'm picking up what's going on for anyone who's doing any tapping with me. And then we start with the eyebrow point, which is just where the eyebrow starts here. And usually you want to be using these 3 fingers, particularly the middle finger, because it actually connects to the heart center of the body and the pericardium. which helps to shift the energy through. And then we do the side of the eye, and then we do under the eye, and then we do under the nose, the chin, and then we come to the collarbone. Now when I tap the collarbone, I usually tap both sides of the collarbone with one hand, so like using my thumb and fingers, but you can tap both sides like this, as you can with any of these points here that you're tapping. You can tap both sides there, and then you're tapping under the arm. So the underarm point is, I usually say, in line with the nipple or bra strap line, depending on who I am tapping with. So it is sort of like just under the arm, in line with the nipple. And then we do wrists, and again you can tap either side of that, depends on which is maybe your dominant hand or which side you feel comfortable with, or maybe if you've got sensations in one side over the other side, you want to tap on the side where the sensations are. And then we have the top of the head. And they're usually the points that I will have people tapping on. There are some other points. Sometimes I might drop in. Fingers, for example, can be used as well to varying degrees. But I usually do those points. If you're at home or you're in an office situation or any of those situations, as I said, it is really, really easy if you want to just go through some breathing and releasing by tapping the fingertip points. You can do that under the table. I'm tapping my fingertips now while you can't see my hands. You can do it under the table and not look conspicuous. You can do it while you're walking down the street, if you're in an anxious situation out in public. And when you're maybe in an emotional state alone, you can tap the top of your head whilst going over what is going on for you. But I also say, if you feel energy shifting in your body, if you feel sensations in your body, you can tap on a particular point that feels comfortable. Hopefully that clears all the points up and you enjoy your EFT tapping session with me, whether it's a group session, whether it's a one-to-one session, whether you're doing one of my free YouTube videos. Enjoy. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe. Thank you.